different animals created after their kind. And I'm talking about within the human existence that we can observe and we can look at, that we can experience. In other words, something that's concrete, just like the word is concrete, which teaches us this. Genesis chapter 1 verse 11. And Elohim said, let the earth bring forth grass, the herb yielding seed, and the fruit tree yielding fruit after his kind. See? You have different types of grasses. You have different types of plants. So when let me finish. And the fruit tree yielded fruit after his kind, whose seed is in itself upon the earth, and it was so. So what do you see? It says, and the earth brought forth grass, and herb yielded seed after his kind, and the tree yielded fruit, whose seed was in itself after his kind, and Elohim saw that it was good. Nothing in there state that you're going to have a tree at some point becoming an animal. Like they try to say that the fishes and the bananas and so forth come from the same thing. No, they come from the same thing in this aspect, that they all were commanded to come into existence by the creator of the heavens and the earth. That's the one common point. That's the one common ancestry that they had. But once they were created, vegetation produces after its time. So if you plant an apple seed, you get an apple tree. Not an orange tree, not an animal. When you plant a banana tree, a banana seed, you get a banana tree. Not a plantain tree, because the plantain tree, which is similar to a banana, but it produces after its kind. So you plant the plantain seed and you get plantains. You plant the watermelon seed, you get watermelon. That's what we see in the earth. The word says that each of these vegetations create after their kind. Is that what we see? Is that what we experience? So does that testify that the word is true? No speculation needed. All we do is accept what it is that's going on around us. But let's not stop there. Genesis 1:20. And Elohim said, let the waters bring forth abundantly the moving creature that hath life, and fowl that may fly above the earth in the open firmament of heaven. And Elohim created great whales and every living creature that moveth, which the waters brought forth abundantly after their kind, and every winged fowl after his kind, and Elohim saw that it was good. Don't we see birds lay eggs? So if a crow lays an egg, guess what's coming out that egg? Not a parakeet, another crow. If a parakeet lays an egg, guess what's coming out? Not a chicken, a parakeet. That's what we see happening in the world today, based upon the word. But see, unfortunately, because doubt has crept in, nobody sees all these living things occurring around us as being proof and evidence that the word of Yahweh Elohim is truth. Amen. We don't see that. Genesis 1:24. And Elohim said, let the earth bring forth the living creature after his kind, cattle and creeping thing, and beasts of the earth after his kind, and it was so. And Elohim made the beasts of the earth after his kind, and cattle after their kind, and every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth after his kind, and Elohim saw that it was good. Do we not see that in the world today? Cows producing other cows, goats producing other goats, sheep producing other sheep. After their kind, we witness this day to day, especially those who are on the farms. We witness this, but yet we don't see that as evidence that this word is truth. Why is that? Genesis 1:26. And Elohim said, let us make man in our image. Hold up. Now we're talking about something different. We're talking about something, a species that we're going to create in this planet to emulate the mighty ones. That's the Bible right there. That's not Luciferian philosophy. That's the word. And Elohim said, let us make man in our image after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. So Elohim created man in his own image. In the image of Elohim created he him, male and female created he them. We go to Genesis 2 and verse 7, it gives us more information. And Yahweh Elohim formed man of the dust of the ground. No, he didn't evolve from an ape, which evolved from some other species, which traces its roots back to a tadpole which came out the water. Not so. Took that dust, put a little water in it. And see, here's the interesting part. All you got to do is do your research, brothers and sisters, and every ingredient that's known in the earth, in the soil, guess what? Bada bing, it's in us too. That's proof, positive, that the word of Yahweh is true. He created us from the dust of the earth. So we have carbon in us. You see, that's a part of the earth. And Yahweh Elohim formed man of the dust of the ground, and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul. You want to prove that Yahweh exists? That's all you got to do, because that right there. That spirit that keeps us alive and keeps us vital, that's the only way we stay alive. As soon as the Creator calls it, we drop, we fall. It's done. It's over. That's what's keeping us alive. As it operates and functions in accord with your brain, which is the control center for your heart and your lungs and your digestive system and all these other things that the body is able to do. You see? That is how we stay alive. By the breath of life that he breathes into our nostrils. And when does he do that? When that umbilical cord is cut. Snip. Because up until that point, the baby is surviving based on the mother. So if you cut that umbilical cord, now that baby needs to, now they're living and they're existing on their own. See, that's how we create life. I tell you, the fool has said in his heart, there is no mighty ones. The fool has said that. Let's move on. Let's talk about cell theory. Cell theory refers to the idea that cells are the basic unit of structure in every living thing. Okay? The theory says that new cells are formed from other existing cells. The cell was discovered by Robert Hooke in 1665. So what that means, up until 1665, humanity had no knowledge of a cell, what it was, what it could do, none of that. And then after that was discovered, and then other things were discovered and so forth and so on, leading us up to eventually finding out what DNA was. So it took all this time for man to come to realize how important the cell was. 1665 it was discovered, right? Okay. Now let's see what Yahweh said in this word years before 1665. Leviticus chapter 17, verse 11. For the life of the flesh is in the blood. Why do you think he inspired Moshe to write that? Because he understood what they call cell theory, in other words, cell speculation. See, is in actuality the truth. And why is this the truth?